Hello everyone, welcome to another one of our Facebook Live art demos. We are here at Studio Central, which is our urban art studio where you can come make art. Anyone 18 plus is welcome to come to our space, use our supplies, and make art with us. We have workshops from 2 to 4. So we're located in Portage Place. So because we know that not everyone is able to come here, not everyone is able to make it here every day, we have these lives for you, so you can watch us either live on Facebook or we will post this on YouTube as well, so you can rewatch it there. So today we're going to be doing some very fun. If you saw the video is called Rock Garden Magic, we have a bit of an unusual art demo today.
It is quite unusual. I think the best way to do it is just to show the folks what we are doing. Come along.
Yes. So, flip the camera.
You have to hold.
I did not flip the camera. It's staring right at me.
Here we have this is our beloved rock garden. It has been with us since the other location of Portage Place and moved here. I'm also holding a bunch of rocks and can't speak too clearly while I'm doing that, so I'm going to put it down. Rock gardens are so cool because you get to paint your rocks, you get to have a little piece of art, and then it's nice because people can just take it and like put it in a pocket. Yeah. And then when you're walking around, you have this beautiful art that's been shared. So we have this garden that is at the front of our space. It is always on a red chair, which is still cool, but we have been gifted this beautiful, beautiful beast of a rock garden, the Silver Hoof Kindness Garden, if you will. It is a little story of Silver Hoof. We have made one with silver hoops.
With our best understanding
of the lore. I said I was going to look into it more prior to doing this workshop, however I did not. But what Kate has told me is that the silver hoof is a small creature that will dance onto rooftops, and the hoops will let gems come out. So I think we do need gems here.
We need to grab the gems for sure.
But today's workshop is going to have so many different elements to it. We are going to do some painting. We are going to maybe do some art pens and like paint markers. And we're going to do some paper mache and learn how to make a type of glue that you can make right at home using some simple ingredients. And I think today's main event will be us creating terrain on this. We'll use some paper mache to make it rigid. This is just a bin and a bucket that has cardboard on top that our lovely Logan had cut for us. We have 2 layers, and underneath is
the inner workings.
The garden of styrofoam. So that's so our rock garden isn't too heavy. But Logan has created this false bottom for us. So now it's kind of like our garden is only this deep. But we need to secure it and make it a little more stronger. And paper mache is so fun because you can make a balloon and, as we've seen here, turn it into a cool looking wasp seeds. So much you can do with it. We have a lot of different materials on here. If you want to come for the materials to home, do you follow me this way? Just stop in the middle. Thank you.
Just going to shadow you. We have our paper mache material. I believe last time we did a paper mache workshop, we used glue and water.
Yes.
But that can be a bit more expensive. It uses a lot of glue. And I have done this in the past using flour, which works just as well.
That's a good sound.
And is a little more cost efficient.
Yeah. Which I haven't made flour glue before, so I'm excited to learn. What I have for some of my materials, I have these different colors of paint here. I have green, blue, black, and white. And the reason being is because when we had got this garden, I'm sure Kate has many photos of it. When we got this garden from Kate, it had this lovely pond in the middle. And during our cleaning and excavation of the materials out of here, the pond has left us. It got destroyed. So we're going to make another one today. What I'm actually going to do for the pond is I have this piece of acetate, so it's clear plasticky film. It's a 12 by 12 inch, but I am going to cut like some oblong lake shape out of it, and then I'm going to reverse paint. So I'm going to take some blues, whites, maybe a little bit of green to mix in there and make some lake colors. I'm going to paint it on this side, and then when you flip it, because it's clear plastic, it's actually going to be quite shiny. So it's almost like a little hack, so you don't have to put resin on it, but we know Kate. We might add some resin to this later. So that's one thing I have for my materials. Otherwise, I have an X-Acto knife, scissors. I'm gonna make some, I think, terrain, because I think it'll be interesting rather than us just having this flat and this little garden. Maybe we could have a elevation change. Wow, easy.
Do we need a little house for the silver hoof? Not the burning house.
Tyler's decoupage house.
I'm not sure about that. Ooh, Henry's watching.
Hi, Henry. Look, he's dancing. Ooh, gems. That's how it works. Maybe not this house. We have more houses.
Yeah.
I also have a carton material. And I can grab newspaper too. I'm thinking I might grab newspaper and like ball it up a bit, put some masking tape around it, and then we can just lay them in certain spots. It's almost like pillows.
Yeah, and the paper mache over top, no matter what it is underneath, is going to be pretty sturdy once it dries.
Yeah.
So as long as it's held up during the drying process, then it should be sturdy enough for us to work with.
Yeah, so that is the plan today. Also, we'll see how long things take, but I got wild and I thought, hey, I might have time to use paint pens on the legs. We'll see. Might be a two-parter, but regardless, I'm stoked. I'm stoked and excited for this.
So let's get into the paper mache.
Yeah, you want
No.
to do your ingredient making?
Yeah, let's.
Always cooking show?
I'm gonna flip this around so I can actually see the camera. Excuse the adjusting here.
Oh, you're doing front plates camera?
Yeah, because bring it down though, obviously, so you can see what I'm doing. There we go.
Paint on here, and then I'll cut it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Then you don't have the edges before the edges. Okay. This is my wonderful container for our paper mache. This one's nice. It has a lid and lots of space. It has been used to store paint before, which is why there's paint on the lid, but it'll be good. And then I have, just for measuring this cup, the ratio is approximately 1 cup of flour for 1 cup of warm water. And then I also have some salt, which I think will help a little bit with moisture control in it.
Is it preservation as well?
Yeah, because as long as the paper mache is kept dry, you shouldn't have to worry about mold. But the salt will just help a little more with that, just to ease our minds. So I'm gonna do one cup of flour, approximately. I was trying to look for a sieve. I know we have one somewhere, but I could not find it. I think it's too high for me to reach right now. So that's not necessary. It does help you like worry less about lumps in your paper mache, because it will make the flour finer.
One thing will secure this down so it's like a paper mache kind of like around here too. So it's just like it's not solid.
Do we have a roof? Do we make a roof?
You can always make a roof. How it's in the roof depth.
And then approximately the same amount. And then I'm just going to do a little bit at a time so I don't get overwhelmed. Although normally I guess you'd go the other way where you use a lot of water and then put a little bit of flour at a time so it dissolves faster. So let's just stir this lovely creation until it's not lumpy anymore. We'll put some salt in there. It's not a super precise recipe. I'll also probably add a little bit more water in as well because it's looking very thick.
what is the ratio again? I feel like I was looking at something.
It's about 1:1, but usually you need a little more water, so it kind of depends. Like, what I would do is like start with 1:1 and then slowly add more water, testing the consistency. So you'll see by the end of this what the consistency you want is. Ideally, it's kind of like very liquidy. So I'm gonna still, even though it's not a very specific amount, use the same cup so I can visualize how much I'm putting in.
A Sharpie to mark where you're putting water and stuff.
Oh, it's all good.
We're already done. It's okay.
It's happening. Just a little bit at a time. It's gonna be very lumpy at first. So I'm just gonna stir it. Should I flip the camera onto you while I stir?
Yes.
No one has to watch me stir for 10 minutes.
Stir your slurry. I have found the starting of this beautiful log cabin that somebody had been working on for some time. It does not have a roof, but I think it's gonna look real perfect on the elevation change. And then, doop, 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 we have something for the tinder hoof, silver hoof. Oh, tinder hoof is I think that's a mushroom.
Oh,
Yeah, they grow on trees.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, they grow on trees. They're quite old. They're pretty
trees.
cool. I'm like, so I could use a ruler, but I think because of the chaoticness of today's live, I don't want to. So what I did is I took this double layered cardboard in our beautiful collection of recycled materials, and I took my roof, put it there, and I just took a pen and I marked the line of where I'm going to cut it, and now I'm also freehand cutting it. Because
So this is what I referred to the other day as, instead of using your design brain, we're using our craft brain. So we're not worried about measurements or perfection.
No.
We're just playing.
Who is grading me here? Not Ollie. Nor I.
You know.
And will it? Oh, how did it get too short? This is why you measure.
No, but you do the other side a little longer, and then it comes up
No,
over
but
top.
it's to the sides.
Oh.
Again.
Oh, that was my popsicle stick.
Oh,
It's in there.
excavation.
That's gonna be messy very quickly.
I think the size is nice though, so I am gonna just use this and do a little longer. And if you would look very closely, I did make a line right there, and I just didn't cut on it.
Oh,
So
that's what happened.
well, that's fine. I have more cardboard, so I can do this again. Let's go just a little extra over. You know, we can always cut more off. We can't add.
Not easily.
Not easily. I mean, I could. Everything is really technically possible. So one, make sure your thumb is not in the way of that knife. I actually personally like to hold my hand above it and then pull. And I like to make sure I'm not pulling all the way into me, because otherwise it's going to hurt. That's not great either. Slice this. Sorry, I was dinging. Don't know how. And it's a little tricky because I think it's like almost plastic backed on the back of this cardboard. A little bit.
And then I still need to stir it a little more, but this is about the consistency I would go for I'm gonna angle this downwards so you can actually see it, for the paper mache with the flour. So like when you do it with glue and water, since you're mixing two liquids, it ends up being very liquidy. But with flour, it can be a little thicker, and which is nice because when you want it to dry, that's when it gets hard. So if you use less water, it's going to dry faster. Hey, Christine asked, what are we making? We are making
Everything.
We are making a brand new rock garden.
That is really what we are doing. And
We are
elevator pitch.
we're not making it, we're landscaping it. the rock garden exists. We're just
Absolutely.
making some paper mache.
And a house
Landscape.
roof. So I've cut my 2 cardboards. And now for that extra little oomph, you're gonna want to come closer to this one.
I lost my popsicle stick again.
We have the awesome cardboard, but the best part about corrugated cardboard is all these little corrugation layers. What I want to do, I think, to make it look cool and roofy, is I'm going to remove this layer. It's going to look like it's going to take a bit of time, but it is possible. I probably should have gone from the actual cardboard side because it's easier. But you just will take it, and yeah, that's better. Peel off the first layer if you can, and then from there, you'll slowly be able to start peeling off. It takes a little bit of time, but like the effect after is quite worth it. Sometimes I'll just like use my nails for here. Kind of also if you really like ripping apart things or picking at things, this is a good activity. But if the glue isn't used that sturdy on here, so it's really easy to actually like clear things up. As I say that, and I'm just picking away. But we'll have a cool texture roof. That is really what I'm going for.
Without any extra building.
No extra building because I'm just investigating the materials that I'm using. And that's also the beauty of using recycled materials is it's not going into the environment. And you're saving on that, taking care of our planet. And this is actually going to look, this little scale house, in my humble opinion, is going to look so cool with this roof on. My vision is it's going to look cool. That people are going to look at it and be, where did you get that super cool material? And I will be able to tell them, it's cardboard. I will show you how to make it. We have materials.
I suppose we might want to plan out our landscape before we start immediately paper macheing it.
You want, use our newspaper.
I will put the lid on this.
Yeah, I kinda just started going for the house, but the house is like a final piece on the landscape. So you can actually see the garden
As we landscape it. In the distance. Maybe like to be low. Excuse the noise as I extend the legs of this tripod. To our kindness garden. Yeah, so here's the new garden. Should probably go a little bit higher so you see the inside of it and not just the side, which we will hopefully decorate eventually. Need to figure out how this tripod works so I can actually get it up. You can see the side. Stupid legs. Oh.
This is actually a good time to do this because we're going to cover some paper. So as always, we can cover the tripod and all about the we're covering, so we'll keep her all the I am going to make us some terrain. We already have, again, recycled materials using this. I think this came from probably one of the IKEA furniture things that we got. We also could, if we want to get real curious and we don't want too rigid of a platform, which I don't mind as much, but we could do the same technique I've been doing here, as you can see pointer, because this has different cell patterns. And then we could take off one and crush a little bit on the side so it has a more gradual slope. There's a trick, or an easy way to do that is taking newspaper, and you want to get a lot of air in there. You don't want to crumble it up too small. You want to be able to get your air, so you use less newspaper for your big balls of things. This is also a good trick and tip if you're using tinfoil. Use a lot of air while you're packing it up because it doesn't use as much material. And now that I have this, if I put it here, it is going to be outrageous for Ollie to work on and put on paper mache. So I have just white painter's tape, or masking tape if you will. That one's really tricky to get off. So what I do is crumble it, and either like this could be like just a rock if you want. It could be like a little bit flatter here. You can even attach it to this for that terrain change, which is a little bit easier too. And then have lake here.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
This also might be too big. I can cut this smaller.
I'm thinking nice house on a hill. We can have the pond here.
We can have a garden for the house.
Garden for the house.
We also have to remember that we put rocks in here.
Yes.
There needs to be room.
And we don't want to get mixed up between what people can take and what is part of it.
But we'll glue it down.
Yes.
I think we'll glue it down.
We'll glue it down.
So yeah, I like the idea of house on a hill. Maybe. Do you think we should do like the elevation that way, or should we push this down?
I'm wondering.
I'm gonna make that smaller too.
Looking at it.
It's quite big.
Because if we
So if we do this in half,
keep it this size and then surround it with plants,
that's cute. I like
that could work as well.
Yeah, and then that also kind of will hold the paper mache to the sides here because you'll be able to just wrap it around.
Yeah.
And I can put some tape here too so we can hold it. So should you? I don't want to paint this yet before we mache. I want to be able to like put the lid down after. We can always cut around it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you think we should? I might do some just to make it look organic
so
and
it's
interesting, I
not
think.
so rigid. Sharp across.
Yeah. Okay. I think we have a plan.
Yeah. I like that.
Thanks everyone for listening to how Ollie and I communicate.
Let's hope that made sense for
What
everyone
should
else.
we do? I think so. Okay. So this is gonna be for repetition. This I'm gonna cut a little bit organically and kind of push it down so it looks nice here. And then these, like I had shown, you get a bunch of air in it to get it in big and puffy. And then you'll take your masking tape just to hold it in place so it's not fighting with you while you're trying to put the mache on it. So kind of figuring out how it'll look and then taking, it's really simple, just doing something like that. So it's not gonna, again, fight you. And because it's hills are pretty organic and natural shape too. We don't have to be too rough on ourselves of how it's gonna look. I think that's why Ollie and I both are really, excited for this type of project because like there's not a lot riding on it.
No.
It's kind of just one of those things you can have a lot of fun with. So yeah, and if you want, you can always switch this down more. Like this is good. I like how it is, but it's still too high on that side, so I might take some tape and then put a little tape here and actually use gentle force, but pull it tight around and tape it down underneath, and now it kind of squishes down a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think we should maybe do the landscaping and then will I paper mache, you can work on the details of the house and the lake.
No,
Or vice versa.
I think that's a good idea.
You just don't want to put your hands in paper mache.
Well, we have a lot of things to do. Just being mindful of the time. Which it is 4.
Oh,
Time really flies.
wow,
when
that
we're
went
having fun.
very fast. Why all Thursday lives feel so much faster than our Friday lives?
We want different. I would take it like around
I
itself.
should.
You still can.
It doesn't.
I'd say pick it up. There you go. This is just a placeholder right now. I think this is good, and then you could always like tape it like that down.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna go over the edge a little bit to hold it in place.
Which would be nice. I don't know if this would be good for my road. I think the bigger newspapers definitely are better for like bigger. That was again a profound statement. Bigger pieces are better for bigger spots. I'm gonna make like a long. Using the papers that are like 8 by 10 size. It's really difficult. This one's gonna look like a little peanut mountain. Well, I guess they're not mountains, they're hills.
This is not a little
It's a little
boulder.
Yeah, I mean, some might you think are boulders. This one's a peanut.
I'm kidnapping it and
Sure.
sure.
Yeah. You know, again, what I said earlier, there's not a lot riding on this because nature comes in all different shapes and sizes, like this peanut. Oh, it opened up a little bit.
So I smush this one into place. Bend to my will.
I mean, isn't that what model making and mache really is?
Yeah.
So it's like a dog toy.
Like, put something up there if you want.
Yeah. Rocks. How many more mountains do you think we need?
We don't want to go all the way around. So if we cut this one around, maybe just like one here to soften the edge further.
Mhm.
And then
Or maybe like, are you thinking like any small? I also like, you could use that egg carton I brought to just add a little bit of elevation that doesn't look the same. Like you'll cover everything with the paper mache.
true, because this is kind of giving us a bit of a perimeter. But we don't want to either on the whole thing. Or this thing. That thing. And keep the front open. In my head, this is the front because this is the direction that we're facing currently.
Okay. Like again, we're gonna be putting rocks in here.
Yeah, we can put a little secret tunnel over
Oh
here.
my gosh, I love that. I think this going here. Here's your other boulder animation.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna put a line to kind of guide myself. Look at the house in here. So what do we think? House on the corner.
So we have to cut the corner too intensely.
This looks like a nose.
Maybe smooth that a little bit. There we go. Not sure if you can see too much, but there
Let's
is.
see if I can do it right here in the camera. Well, I want it at a angle, huh?
Carving.
Wow.
And remember, knife safety. Don't put the knife out further than one blade.
Unless you know what angle you're putting your pressure in, and you have a lock, and your friends are wearing glasses around you.
Just be careful when you're using a utility knife.
Absolutely, always be careful.
And we're gonna paper mache over this as well.
Huh?
We're gonna paper mache over this as well. So we don't just have a honeycomb out.
I like the honeycomb, but
I do
no,
like
paper mache is.
But for the landscape and the structure.
Ooh, what's happening?
This is freestyling now.
More elevation change. Oh no! It's Rocky. How fun! So you can just like push it down with your thumbs, correct it a little bit, so Ollie has something fun to work with. And then let's see.
And I can't do this because my thumbs are too weak.
Oh, I got real strong hands.
And push it down a little bit.
Also,
Also the weirdest angle.
we also don't want to push it down too much because there's just styrofoam and cardboard underneath us.
True.
Okay. But essentially, I would say this is probably good to put some stuff on. Should I try and fit it against the wall?
Oh, that'd be, yeah.
Too much, but it's fine. We'll take it.
You can paper mache it.
We can paper mache it.
You can paper mache anything.
Okay, so on the house, I would say that's a nice place to live.
Yeah.
I would probably mache here.
Yeah, that's doable.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't take this guy down.
Nice. Easy peasy. Yeah. And if you want to round it out that way, I think that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
I'm
Okay.
gonna tape the final ones down, and then we can start paper mache. It is already 4:05, and we are ending around 4:15 today.
4:15.
4:15-ish. We'll see. Because there's another little surprise after this. If you stick around, we have another. We're gonna teleport to the land of rocks.
The Land of Rocks. What are we going to fill this with? The Land of Rocks. I
Yes.
think now that we've shown you a little bit of terrain, how about I show you how I'm going to paint? Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna focus. Again, excuse the noise. So I'll focus on Marissa, but I think in the corner you'll be able to see me paper mashing a little bit.
And then I'll move it over. And we have our little buddies. Hiya. So I am going to paint the lake. And Kindness Garden place in the background. But honestly, this is probably going to be one of the fastest, one of the fastest things.
I just put my hands in the paper mache and we're getting a phone call.
It's 866 number. I didn't pick up my shoes high enough and I almost ate it. That would have been really fun. I kind of wish if I did, you would have flipped the camera around. Oh no. So, with our time constraints today, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the whole painting the lake and showing you how I'm going to cut it out of this shape. But showing you the tools I'm going to use because it's really fun to see how that cutting process works. My plan is I'm going to paint on this first, kind of paint around it, and then I'm going to use another cutting tool to show you all. A rotary cutter. Ooh, another thing, safety first. It's basically like a teeny tiny pizza cutter. So always remember, where are your fingers? Away from the cutter. After I paint, I'll probably put the painted side down once it's dry so I don't gum up the blade here. And this covers on, but what I'll do is I will have a cutting board underneath. And then, with my hand out of the way, I'll kind of just be able to be a little fluid and roll it down, very much like organic lake shapes. And I'm kind of feeling, we'll see what happens, but I feel like I kind of maybe want to add some like brush or greenery around the lake after. So, like I said, y'all will need to keep seeing a couple updates. I'm excited. Let's do some painting. He's getting ready on the so I don't need this underneath me. I have these lovely jugs of paint, acrylic paint. If you come to Studio Central, you are more than welcome and invited to use this paint while you are here. We love having people do art with us. That is our whole shtick with Studio Central. We want to have a space that is a safer space for adults to come, meet other adults that are like-minded, and do something creative with their energy and their time. I always say busy hands makes your mind a lot clearer. So I find whenever I'm stressed or not having the best day, I really try to do something creative. Also practice breathing. Always forget to breathe when you're stressed out. I'll always talk to that. So she's passed out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a little green for fun. Because lakes are green.
You're making Lake Winnipeg?
No, that would be brown.
True, fair. I have traveled to other countries.
Whoa!
And in those other countries, they have bright blue water. The kind of stuff you see in movies and think, oh, that's enhanced, that's fake. It's real. Water is blue.
Water is blue.
Water can be blue.
As I have here, and because I want to be kind of free and wild, I'm going to take this and take it to the table so it doesn't fly around.
It's like a pond garden.
Yeah, pond rock garden. Well, you have rocks by ponds.
And this is his house on pond.
Yeah. This tape really doesn't stick to the table or my art piece, so I have wasted time. That's fine. It's awful. At least
For this situation,
at least it helped our boulders.
it didn't work on our boulders. Not on this table.
Okay, so I have my brush. I have a thick-ish brush, and also this brush had some water soaked in it before, so it's a little wet. And I like that. I have this beautiful darker blue paint, white and green. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dab a little bit into the white, but immediately go into the blue. This is my style of painting. And now, step it up again. And now, let's see what color comes out. If I'm happy with it, that's going to go right onto my lake. And I actually am quite happy. Can you see how beautiful that color went in just by going pop, 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 and wiggle it around? That's my style of teaching how to paint. Fun and easy.
It also is very conducive to painting water, because water is not something that is very predictable and controlled. So it's one of my favorite things to paint because I don't worry as much about. It's also tricky for that very reason because you can't actually make it like there's no like correct way to do it.
No. And this is also going to be tricky because it is going to see my brush strokes a lot. Painting on acrylic that is just flat. Hindsight, maybe I could have sanded it a bit prior and it might stick on better, but I didn't. So as I'm painting layers on here, you see the back looks different. And we want to focus on what that back looks like. So it's kind of cool and important to do some mindful colors first, and then you can fill out more what goes on. But I'm just going to paint it and see how it goes. I like it's like very oceany blue. I like greeny.
Yeah.
Need more paint. Definitely need more paint. But yeah, now I don't have to worry too much about like painting all the way to an edge and painting off of my plastic here. I'm just being free, flapping it back and forth, and seeing where the color spreads itself. Kind of checking back and forth as I go, but I'm gonna give it up a chance and just see what happens. I'm not doing anything specific with my pattern of how I'm painting. I'm just kind of like shaking it as little M shapes to make waves. I don't know if that's a great method for it, but I'm okay with how it's turning out so far. It doesn't look lakey, but it's good for me. How's our paper mache going?
It's coming along quite well.
I should have used the camera myself. I'm so sorry.
That's all good. I'll do a different angle here. So now I'm in the foreground and Marissa's in the background. As you can see, the paper mache like is just draped on top really, but supported by that newspaper, and it already gives that smooth curve from this to something like this that just goes down like a nice little hill. So I'm just draping it across, and it's going quite well. My hands are covered in paper mache, but that's inevitable.
That's part of the
One thing to keep in mind is you don't want to do too many layers at one time, because then it might not have the chance to dry properly. It'll actually dry faster if you do two smaller layers than one big one, and then the inside may never dry properly. And that has other issues. It shouldn't mold as long as it's dry. So if it gets more straight, like most things. Yeah. So I'm just kind of laying them over top. The more layers I put on, the more structure it'll gain. So I'm not too concerned right now. Be perfect. I'm gonna add more layers.
And I like that you are wrapping it around that top. Like wrap around the top area there. If you are painting it later on, yeah, it really creates this like dynamic little oasis feel.
It's like a little valley.
I've got more paint on here to load it up.
So one of my techniques is I'll kind of drape it across so it gets that like general shape, and then I'll go every once in a while and do one kind of perpendicular to that one, so going the opposite direction, just to secure it a little better, so it's not all in one direction. Oh, you can kind of put it down whichever way feels right.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of paper mache.
Machine. Is that the proper term?
Paper mache technically comes from the French papier mache, which translates to chewed paper.
Well, I think you're missing a step, Ollie.
I am not putting this in my mouth.
Get those choppers ready.
And it's very quickly, actually. Get at least the first layer where you get the shape, and then once that dries for a layer or two, then you go in for the structure.
So here's currently my wispy wild lake. I have.
Hang it up a little, but my hands
Don't look at me. Oh no.
No, it's still mostly on that.
I have I painted it all on this side, so it's very, very wet. You can see that. But flipping it around, you can see there's just a little bit more brush strokes to get through, but it does kind of look like a lake.
Yeah, and the reflection on it will only help with the illusion.
Gotta add some more deep blues, I think, into it because it's always good to have a little bit of mystery in the lake.
Yeah, I feel like it's a nice, quiet pond. Like, you don't need too much movement to it.
Nothing dark. Nothing too dark.
Not in rock garden.
No, it's peaceful. And we need germs everywhere, I think. I think that'll be such a great aspect.
Yes.
I also really need to look into, again, the history and the story of Silverleaf. Perhaps Kate could fill you all in a little bit more on that story because she had told me and I found it so interesting and inspiring. Speaking of Kate,
It is 4:18 now.
wow.
So
Speaking
we'll-
of Kate.
We'll sign off soon, and we'll stay close by, because we'll be back, but our compatriot will be back. I'm trying not to get my paper mache fingers onto the camera.
Hi, everyone.
We'll probably finish the paper mache landscape and water off camera, and then I'm thinking next week we'll come back, we'll see where we're at, maybe do some painting
Yes.
and do a part 2 for this one.
Okay.
But
Painting, either some work on the sides too, and painting on the inside. There's a lot of painting to do. But because of the magic of the Silver Hoop Kindness Garden, and you think we're all here today, but we are missing a few, if you've noticed. It is just me and Ollie. So with the magic of technology, we're going to teleport you all to the land of rock painting. Not right now, but probably about 10-15 minutes. You'll
Yeah.
see our
Well,
other friendly faces, and they'll pop up, be live on location at a rock painting event. It'll be very fun to see. And we're going to keep at this. Absolutely.
Bye everyone.
See you later.